So, I know I said in the first part video that I was gonna do multiple takes and add on information, but from looking at the time that it took me to go over the pros and cons of the first two parts, I am not going to add on more. If I get questions about certain things, or if I really need to share something, I'll make a fourth part. And sorry if you don't like that, but I see the time of the first two videos and it's very long already. And I know that I like to talk, so I really need to stop. So, this is part 3 of pros and cons of TUJ, Crevia will dorms, and now living in Japan in general. Living in Japan is one of the best things in the world. I love Japan. Japan is the best in culture, in respect, and just Japan's amazing. And what I really like about living in Japan is that all the people are so nice. They're so helpful, and the locals are just very nice. I can't say anything more. They're so nice and kind, and they try to help you out as much as possible. So yeah, I think that is in part with just Japan's culture of being very polite. I really like the hospitality of just going to the store, and people greet you when you walk into the store. They greet you when you leave the store. It's all just a very nice community. Another thing is Japan has great food. Everyone kind of knows it. Japan has amazing food. I love to eat at 100 yen sushi conveyor belt sushi places. Yeah. I eat there at least once a week, I think, for the past 3 weeks. And that's also because I've been playing Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is really fun to play when you're in Japan because you're walking around so much and it just pays off. Walking in Japan pays off in Pokemon Go. And yeah, so food in Japan is amazing. I love buying snacks. I have a lot of snacks. I also have a lot of snacks from home. But yeah, snacking is very fun in Japan too. Next is, this is mainly for people who are going to live in Tokyo. Tokyo is very open to tourists because it's such a popular place. So usually when you're going around and you can't understand something, usually there's gonna be someone around who can speak a little bit of English and explain to you what happens. Sorry, I died a little right there. And so I was saying, oh yeah, there's always English. The signs, there's a lot of signs in the station, and usually there are signs in English. And on the trains, they'll have the intercom going off, and there's an English intercom voice thing. So yeah, usually you're gonna run into someone who's able to speak English and kind of help you out. So that's really nice. That's convenient. But that's mostly in Tokyo. Okay, sorry about that. So, next is Tokyo's convenient train system. Tokyo's train system, or Japan's train system in general, is amazing. They're always on time, unless a typhoon hits. Then that messes you up. Or if something happens with the traffic lights of the station, then that also causes havoc. But majority of 99% of the time, the trains will work and they will run on time. So I have the schedule for my the trains that I catch. So I always know exactly what time I need to be at the station to make it onto the train that I need to get onto. I can't say the same about the bus. The bus kind of runs late all the time. Even sometimes first thing in the morning when it's its first stop, it runs late. But the trains are amazing. And it's really nice because you can like preview like the next 2 trains that are coming. So like if the Commuter Express comes in like 8 minutes, I'm just gonna stand at the platform for 8 minutes for the Commuter Express. But I also have the schedule on my phone, so I always keep track. So I don't have to wait that long when I'm at the platform. But yeah, that's another nice thing about living in Tokyo. Anything else? And do I have anything else on here? Nope. Okay. So I'm going to move on to my cons. This is going to be pretty quick, I think. So I will add more to this video, but not the other 2. Japan has very expensive produce. Like, fresh produce in Japan is going to be expensive. I bought 3 pears for 650 yen. So that's more than 200 yen per pear. And I love pears, so I buy it in the packs. So they sometimes will have like individual ones for like almost 300 yen. Or you can buy a bag of them. So my bag had 3 pears in it for cheaper. Always buy the bigger bag if you can. But yeah, fresh produce is always going to be expensive in Japan, I think. And if you want to eat like fresh produce all the time, that's fine. But just know that you're going to spend a lot of money probably. I try to buy most of my stuff on sale. So like usually when stuff starts to like sit out longer or like they are starting to get old, they'll start marking it down. So that's the best time to buy stuff, is when Japan marks stuff down. Even for like bentos and like hot food stuff, they'll start marking it down at like 5 o'clock. So be at the market at like 5 o'clock and follow the person who like sticks all the price tags, like the cheaper price tags on the bentos. I heard people go at like 9 o'clock to get like really cheap sales, but I don't want to walk around that late at night, and also I don't stay up that late at night. So that's a personal problem for me. But if you stay up till like 2 o'clock, like most of the students here, going to the market to get cheap bentos at 9 o'clock is not a bad idea. Next is rush hour. So I talked about this a little. When you're commuting to school or when you're commuting anywhere, there's rush hour. Rush hour is where you become a sardine in a train. And rush hour is typically from 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning to about 10 o'clock. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I end class at 10:10, and I leave school about 10:30ish in the morning to head back home. And that's like when the last group of people like rush out of the station like to go to work. So yeah, rush hour is about 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That's what I say. And then rush hour going home is much worse. Rush hour going home might be from 4, maybe 4. I don't know. I have I've never gone home at 4. I think, yeah, maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then it will go on till like 7. Going home during those times, if you ever need to get somewhere during rush hour, your best bet is to get onto the local train. Never get onto the expresses unless you want to be crushed. Which my friend's leg got crushed and I basically had to carry her to school. Because that's how squished and packed we were into the train. So yeah, rush hour is dangerous. It's a serious thing. Don't mess with it. Okay, when you're walking around, look out for people on bikes. Like, I talk about this with my friends all the time, that we are going to get run down by someone on a bike. Because it's weird. People who, like, come up behind you on bikes, they're, like, very quiet, usually. And they, like, won't ring their bell or anything. But then, all of a sudden, you will see a bike, like, rush past you. Also, people who ride bikes and turn corners, that's happened, where you almost run into someone on a bike when you turn a corner. That's very dangerous. So yeah, look out for people on bikes. That's mostly it for my pros and cons. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below on any of my videos, and I will try to answer them in another video.